Welcome to today's explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to share this one with you because we're literally going thousands of years back in time. Just imagine for a second being a human way back then. You step outside, look up at the night sky, and what do you see? It's just a world full of absolute mysteries, right? But then you start to notice things: the stars, the moon, the planets. We aren't just scattered randomly, they're moving in these incredibly specific, predictable patterns. And what's even more fascinating, you realize those celestial patterns seem directly tied to the changing seasons and everything happening right down here on Earth. It was honestly a massive realization for our ancient ancestors. And that brings us to a huge existential question that these ancient people naturally started asking. Could the sky actually reveal secrets about human life? I mean, think about it. If the stars moving across the sky are linked to winter coming or the harvest season, couldn't they also tell us something about ourselves? It was exactly this curiosity, this really intense desire to find a connection between the vast cosmos and everyday life, that officially gave birth to astrology. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the sky's ancient secrets, Babylonians and royal omens, Greeks, gods and personalities, and finally, science and modern meaning. Starting with part 1, the sky's ancient secrets, humanity's oldest mystery. Let's move to and see how this builds across history. It starts around 3,000 years ago with Babylonian priests meticulously recording the sky. Fast forward to the Greek era, and thinkers begin connecting those planets to human traits. And then we hit the Roman Empire, where pretty much everyone, citizens and emperors alike, is consulting astrologers. Which brings us to part 2, Babylonians and royal omens, predicting the fate of kingdoms. So to really understand where this all started, we have to travel to ancient Mesopotamia. About 3,000 years ago, Babylonian priests were acting as these early, dedicated sky watchers. They carefully tracked the exact movements of the sun, the moon, and the planets, but they paid super close attention to the really unusual stuff, things like eclipses or the sudden appearance of certain planets. Why? Because they genuinely believed these rare celestial events were flashing warning signs for major things about to happen on Earth. But, and this is a really critical distinction, in its earliest days, astrology was entirely macro. It wasn't about you or me. It was used strictly to predict high-stakes things that would affect entire kingdoms. We're talking wars, agricultural harvests, the ultimate fate of rulers. The stakes were incredibly high. The sky was basically seen as this giant cosmic message board for the state, not for the individual. Moving on to part 3, Greeks, gods, and personalities, and the major shift to the individual. And this brilliantly illustrates that turning point. As Babylonian ideas spread, they reached ancient Greek thinkers, and things completely transformed. While the Babylonians focused on the fate of empires and wars, the Greeks made it personal. They started connecting planets and stars with their gods, individual human behavior, and specific personality traits. Basically, they scaled the whole shebang down from massive empires right down to you and me. This shift led to the Greek astrological birth concept, and this was radical. It's the idea that the exact, precise position of the planets at the very moment you were born could influence your entire life path. So instead of just asking, hey, what's going to happen to the king? People started asking, what does the sky say about my life, just based on when I took my first breath? You can imagine this highly personalized system spread like wildfire. By the time of the Roman Empire, astrology was overwhelmingly popular. It wasn't just some secret knowledge for priests anymore. Emperors, powerful politicians, everyday ordinary citizens. Literally everyone was consulting astrologers to make life decisions and figure out their future. And finally, part 4, science and modern meaning, where we are today. Now, what's really interesting about this is the sheer scale we're looking at today. Millions. Over the centuries, cultures all over the world created their own unique versions. And even now, in our modern era, millions of people still read their horoscopes. It's just wild how enduring this really is. So, what does it actually provide today? Well, people follow it for a few main reasons. For a lot of folks, it's just pure entertainment. For others, it offers a sense of guidance. And for many, it provides deep personal meaning, a way to reflect on their lives, their relationships, and just make sense of their day-to-day choices. So the crucial point is how we look at this today. On one hand, modern science finds absolutely no evidence that planets and stars determine your personality or predict the future. But on the other hand, from a cultural perspective, astrology remains one of humanity's oldest, most lasting attempts to understand the universe. It really represents this beautiful, enduring desire to just find our place within the cosmos. Because when you really strip it all down, past the complex charts and thousands of years of evolution, it all traces back to one incredibly simple, profoundly human idea: just looking at the stars and wondering if they were trying to tell us something.
Which leaves us with a question for you as we wrap up today's explainer. The next time you step outside, look up at the night sky. What mysteries will you wonder about? Keep that curiosity alive, keep asking those big questions, and thank you so much for exploring the universe with us today.